When Carmen gives the dog sled tour here in the park, they use traditional style harnesses. These are a lot different than most of our readers and listeners have used, but they're really neat. These are all leather. Why don't you explain to us how these work?
So these are the leather harnesses that we use. You're holding a mic right there, and that's with the sort of straight into the harness towards the tug there. And this one's the single tree.
Yep.
And so it just heads over the head. So the head fits in right here, and then you clasp this around their belly. It's a lot heavier than the harnesses that we use now, for sure, and a lot funner to chew on. So, yeah, doesn't dry as easily.
And the spreader bar on the back of the harness allows them to pull without the harness constricting around their body at all.
Right. Yeah, it kind of distributes things a little more evenly.
That's a traditional thing that some racers use to this day. The Seavies have adopted that kind of thing. Now this goes around as a collar, and it's a very, very stiff type of setup. This is rolled leather, I guess, here?
Yeah, and this has metal inside. Like, it's a metal O-ring that's fairly large.
Yeah.
And then this is filled with, I've never quite figured out what's in there. It's these little beady, sort of ricey looking things, but it's not rice.
It almost feels like a bean bag, but with lots of cushioning there.
And so that's what goes, obviously, against their shoulders.
Yeah. And do you ever take these out when you're doing any of you just use these for the demonstration?
We use these. It's a historic sled and a historic demonstration. So we use these for that. The nylons in the wintertime.
And the sled is really neat. I don't know, can you pan over to, this is the sled with wheels on it. So this is the traditional, it almost looks as big as a mail sled. Maybe a mail sled would have been even bigger, the kind that Harry Karstens used when he did his routes. But this is definitely an old style sled with one little difference here, and it's got wheels that they give the demonstration on. And I was really surprised that this is actually, it kind of balances on those wheels. And is this what you do to turn it?
Yeah, it's pretty much almost simulates, once the dogs are pulling and putting a little more force down, it kind of simulates what it is like in the winter. So it gives us that little 30-second glimpse of the winter and the summer.
Do you have metal on the bottom of the runners for abrasion, or is it just plastic?
We have plastic down there. We just use our old runner plastic from the winter, recycle it on here. And we have metal just around this edge right here, because it's where it runs against the berm back there and really grounds down the wood unless you have something protecting.
How many dogs do you do the demonstration with?
5 or 6.
Okay. Neat. This is, and it also has a big brake here, big earth brake to catch on. And but I bet they're under voice command too. So if you say whoa, they slow down a little bit.
In the summertime, really, they're under their own command. They know that it's just this little quarter-mile loop.
Yeah.
So they'll take us straight ahead if you see a snowshoe hare. But other than that, we do use this just in the very beginning to slow them down, and then you want to take the corner at a good speed to get around.
And this is where you start from. You go straight.
Yeah, we just take off straight from here, go around the loop, and then we do whoa them and push on the brake at the end to let them know it's time to stop.
What a neat rig. What a neat rig. Well, Carmen, thanks a bunch for having us over. It's been really interesting learning about the history here at the kennels, and hopefully some of our readers and listeners will get in contact with you and come on out and take the tour.
For sure, yeah.
What litters do you guys have?